Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Sandi Clarkson doing a process video today for My Creative Scrapbook Kit Club. In today's video, I'm using the January 2025 limited edition kit, and this kit features Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Fresh Snow Collection, which is a really great collection to transition from the holidays to the winter or colder months, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere. But anyway, I decided to go with this collage paper. I really liked both sides of the paper, and so it was a really hard decision for me, but I decided this would be something kind of new and different for me. So here I've taken some of the other pattern papers and torn them to be kind of my matte area, if you will. And then ahead of the video, I did pick out a few embellishments that I thought might work to go with the layout, although a lot of this process video is going to be me thinking about what I want to do next, because my vision wasn't really clear. I think I really just wanted to have fun with this. I thought about using the stencil that was included in the kit, and at the very end off camera I do add a little bit of color on the bottom left hand side using some Distress Rustic Wilderness, I believe it is. But anyway, I tore those papers there, and I'm going to put that, as you see now, elevated on some corrugated cardboard. And I wanted to do that just for dimension, and also so I could tuck things underneath more easily. And I just really like the look of that. I did ahead of time put a piece of regular cardstock underneath the pattern paper just to give it a little more strength before I really knew that I was going to be using the corrugated cardboard like I am. So anyway, I'm lining that up and kind of using that spiral notebook paper that's printed on the pattern paper kind of as my guide. And throughout the video, you'll see me struggle a little bit because I don't know whether to make my design in line with the spiral notebook paper or whether to make it, square or linear like you normally do with your perimeter of your 12 by 12 paper. In the end, this paper right here stays in alignment with the spiral notebook paper, but my photo I do eventually change to where it is, in keeping with the outer boundaries, and I wanted that to be straight. So that was just kind of a little struggle for me. And there I'm using a couple of pieces of corrugated cardboard to elevate my photo. And then I've got a little scrap from 3x4 that I wanted to use, and that I really liked the bottom portion of it, but then the writing was upside down and I was afraid somebody would call me on it, so I did turn it right back up and put that on there. But anyway, I guess my camera app stopped there for a minute, and while that happened, I was just putting down those trees that you see there on the right. They were from the cardstock stickers, and there was 2 of them, and I thought that would fill in right there and kind of help create a winter woodland kind of scene. And then I thought that down in that corner there, I would use one of the cutouts and put a little bucket list of, what to do in the winter kind of thing. And so I just stressed that with some vintage photo ink and used my tape runner to adhere because I was fighting with my ATG gun earlier. And I've got a sticker that I'm going to add here in a minute that's got a bucket list, and that is from the cardstock sticker group. But here I'm just using a piece from the bits and pieces pack, and that's just kind of a little layer. So I've got the bucket list and chill is kind of what my thinking was there. I do a couple of times in the video show you where that sticker is that I'm working on right there, because I forgot that I had shown it earlier. as I was recording. But anyway, I thought that was really cute. And Monday, it's supposed to be 76 degrees here, so it's really hard for me to get in this winter mood, but I know it's coming. Anyway, to adhere, I'm using my Beacons 3-in-1, even despite the odor, just because I want a little bit of repositionable ability with good adhesion in the end. And then here I struggle a little wondering about my chipboard winter piece and thinking about whether I wanted that to be linear with the notebook paper or if I wanted it to be linear with the perimeter of my paper. In the end, I try to make it more with my paper as I did the photo, but here for a while you're going to see the photo more in alignment with the spiral notebook paper. So anyway, those big white flowers are from the Prima package. Those are from Spring Abstract, and there's a couple of little buds from that packet that I'll be using here towards the end of the video. These big white ones had some very yellow stamens, and so I must have been off camera, come back with some Shimmers gold paint, and I do just get the color a little bit not so bright yellow. And so there I'm really using that floral as, you know, something to mount my title on. And then when I was lifting up and looking at it, I was trying to decide, okay, do I want it crooked or do I want it straight? And so there's a lot of fussing and fiddling going on here. And now is about time that I add some leaves to quote the floral clusters. And I always like to take my leaves and do a little something with them, crimp them, or just something to make them look a little bit more natural and not just flat like they come in the package. And so that's what I do. And then also in that pack is some stems. Actually, those are from the 49 Market pack. They're sugared stems, and well, those right there are from the Prima pack, and they're already pre-curled. But I do, you know, fluff them up here a little bit in a minute. And that's, you know, kind of what you have to do with your flowers. But anyway, so there I'm just still thinking about what am I going to do. And I apologize for the glare on the photo there, but it's a glossy photo paper. And here I'm coming back with another one of those wired stems, and I try it out and audition it there in the upper left, but I do eventually move it down to that, you know, title cluster, if you will. And there I'm taking that second leaf, and I've got a good crimp in it, and I'm using my 3-in-1 to adhere it underneath that Prima flower. And then there are some words and phrases that are on the cardstock sticker page that I thought if I would use that in multiple, then I could kind of replicate this collage idea that's going on with the paper. I think I kind of wanted a junk journal look with this project more than just, you know, a regular 12 by 12 layout. Anyway, in the end, I do think it came together pretty well. And I'm feeling the need to put something there on the right-hand side of my photo as well. So, you know, as I'm fiddling with those wire pieces, I'm also thinking, what can I put over there to fill in that empty spot? And I do go back and I look through the bits and pieces and the floral bits packages, because there's, you know, 57 pieces in one and 72 pieces in the other. So a good bunch to choose from. And there you can just see me taking that sugared stem and wrapping it around a skewer to curl it up. And they're really cute. I hadn't seen those in a while. So I just cluster them in and use my beacon so I can be sure that they're going to be stabilized once they dry. And there you can see over to the right of my photo, I have put in a mitten from the packages I mentioned earlier. And then in a little bit, I'm going to come back with a little piece of greenery, a green branch, and I lay that on top of the mitten. Right now you see me putting down a pine cone, and then I'm going to come back with some stars that were in the packaging as well. I was, thinking earlier about whether I wanted to do snowflakes or I wanted to use these stars, and I thought I would go ahead and, excuse me, use the stars because I think I'm going to do snowflakes on my next project. So anyway, I think everything is coming together here, but I'm looking for that stem piece, and there it is. And that just provides a little bit of color and a little more interest. And of course, I like lots of layers, so that helps with that. And that just helps to replicate the collage feel. And there's a really bright green star, but that does match some of the pieces in the paper. And then the other star is kind of a light sage silver kind of color. A little hard to describe, but I do, distress those edges with ink, and then I mount them with foam squares. And then all the time I'm thinking about, what I'm going to do next, as far as, like in the lower left-hand area, that feels really bare to me, so I feel like I need something there. And you'll see me coming back with that little documented tab quite a few times, and I'll bring in a plaid paper to try to be like a grounding for it as well, but those don't make the cut, and in the end I end up adding another floral from the 49 Market packaging and some buds from the Prima packaging, and then also I add a chipboard piece that says Let It Snow. That's from the Cartabella Welcome Winter package. So I tried that flower there thinking it might work, but it's just really too big, and I need something a little bit more medium or smaller scale. So you will here in a minute see me bring in the blue flower. I'm sorry I'm kind of out of frame here. I didn't realize my camera was so far up. But anyway, I decided to set that there. I think that's going to work really well because there is a lot of light blue in the page, so the color works very well. And there I go again, trying my plaid and my documented. That doesn't work. It might work if I really wanted it to, but I think what I ended up with is actually a little bit better. And off camera, I realized that I've not videotaped that, but I add a few pearls, and I think that's all I'm going to do. But then I do end up adding some chunky glitter on top of the flowers and a couple of sequins on top of the flowers. And that's really all I do off camera that I recall. Except I did come back and I used the Simple Stories pine stencil down at the very bottom, as I said before, and I do use that green rustic wilderness ink. And here, because I can't make up my mind about my orientation and everything, I go ahead and use some picket fence Dispress ink to splatter around. And then I go off, I stop my camera and I let that dry, and then I come back to go ahead and finish the page. And essentially what I do is reach for those Prima buds that were in the Spring Abstract packaging, and I stick those in, and that really gives me the finish out that I'm looking for. And I think I also come back and add one more sugared wire into that little bunch, and that comes from the 49 Market pack. But that looks really nice too, because I like dimension and texture. So anyway, we're about ready to wrap things up here, and I'm going to be showing you some close-ups and the final project. I really want to thank you for coming by today, and I'll be adding some details below about how you can order a kit. We're anxious to see what you do with your kit, so please feel free to post in our Facebook group, and I'd love to see you there. Thanks again for coming by today, and I hope you grab your kit along with a free gift this month.